So, the Glanza, what a machine. It's been a while since I've shot one of these for the channel. Thank you so much to the owner, because this is like reliving the glory days of the channel, because I shot a fair few of these sort of when I started doing YouTube. I've never really been in one of these, and thankfully I've driven a few of them, but to hark back to one this nice with a good amount of power is always great. So thank you so much again to the owner. 208 brake horsepower, 190 foot-pound of torque in this one. It's a hell of a hot hatch from Japan when they were making some of the best cars in my book. So we'll start her up, we'll get her warm. One of the things I noticed that I didn't notice prior shoots is that the dials on these, when you go round the revs, light up green. Such a cool thing. 2-mode turbo, it says right in front of me as well. Now this isn't, of course, a factory car at that power. It's running a hybrid turbo. Factory turbo, but hybrided. Enough of me blabbing, let's get on the road. This thing sounds insane, by the way. You'll already have heard some shots, but yeah, it sounds sick. We're interrupting today's video to show you guys the new release on FYD. We have 3 new stickers. As you can see, I've put them on the back of the mighty Budget 300C today. We have B-Road bashing. We have the FYD apparel just there in old English text. And of course, we had to bring back the much requested Dreams Arch logo. These are sold separately and are available right now. Link is in the description. Support the brand, support the channel. Go and grab yourself some stickers. FYD apparel, link is in the description. Let's get back to the video. One of the things I love about these cars, and I always, when I drive them, is how compact they were in the 90s. It's such a small little car. A little chatter from the turbo already. We'll let this motorbike go past. You enjoy your day, my friend. So, 3rd gear, car's warm. Now I'll have to talk up in this video because of course there is no rear seats in this. Not that it needs to be any lighter, these were insanely light from factory, and if you think that, coupled with over 200 horsepower, this is a hell of a car. And thankfully over the years they've gained a lot of traction monetary wise. When I first started shooting these cars, they were very easily 3 grand, 2.5 grand. Now this one today, a very nice example in, you know, good colour. The engine's running as it should be, running more power, and it's got some nice bits in it, seats, steering wheel. These are well over 10 grand for a nice one these days. In fact, I looked on Auto Trader and on eBay and stuff the other day, and they were about 8 grand for an automatic one. So I know cars have gone up in the past couple of years, but these have rightly so, and I did say years ago that they were very undervalued. I didn't really get why they were so cheap. And thankfully, as time goes on, I feel like more of these have maybe been parted out. A lot of them have died a painful death of blowing up because it's a 1.3 litre turbo engine trying to produce loads of horsepower. So that's made them a hot commodity, in my opinion, and it's, you know, made the prices go up quite a lot. A lot of Japanese cars have gone through the roof. This one specifically though, just bags of power. Bags of character as well. It feels like a hot hatch, but a Japanese 90s hot hatch. It's hard to explain that sometimes on video, but if you've ever driven something from this era, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's light on its feet, it drags itself up the road with the power. The turbo is actually very well mapped in this one. 3,500 revs, straight on boost, no worries whatsoever. 3rd gear is absolutely just where the power is. Even in 4th, if I'm honest, it just keeps chugging. Doesn't feel like there's a 1.3 litre engine up there at all. But what I really wanted to do in today's video with this car is feature it more than anything, because I love these cars. If I've ever got an opportunity, I will shoot it. But the price, and the availability. None of them are around anymore. Importing one, yeah, it's great. You're not going to drive to anywhere and be able to find a good deal on one of these anymore. Because thankfully, and I did say this again, as I've already said in this video, they are commanding more money than they ever did. Lovely S-bend up here, so we'll take second gear, 4,000 RPM, around one corner, come off a little chatter there. Just pulls itself round the corner. So honestly, I think even today, cars like this that are at this power with this weight will still surprise a lot of big new cars, because this is so chuckable. I mean, that S-bend there, we didn't go crazy for it, it's not my car, but you can feel how tight and how well this car, because it's so small and light, will want to go around a corner. It just tracks so well, pulls itself round corners. Something that you don't feel in newer cars. This is an era where, you know, airbag safety and safety of cars, you know, it wasn't really a big thing, but thankfully now you can feel the lightweight, you can feel the dartiness from the front end. And that chatter, the chatter of the turbo, mate, I'll tell you. Oh. So, parked up, it's a little bit windy, but we're gonna have a quick look round. Starting at the front end, Glanza logoing there. So cool, into the grille, into the bumper, factory air scoop here on the bonnet as well. Such an era correct and period correct car. This, the Starlet was cool, but this is just next level. When this come out, it must have looked like the coolest thing, with the big open scoop going into the engine bay with a more aggressive front bumper. Coming down, this one is absolutely gorgeous on the paint, especially offsets against the bronze wheels. Wearing some Nankang tyres on the front, which are doing a really good job of putting the power to the ground, putting that 208 brake horsepower on the ground on one of these little cars, which again doesn't sound like a lot, but this one with no interior in it, these were light from the factory as they were, with that sort of power in something this small, it just creates the best driving experience. Side skirts down here on the Glanzas with the Glanza logoing, with the grey paint and the black logo sort of ghosted in there. Coming around the back, the twin spoilers that these came with, so cool. So you've got the boot spoiler just there, and on top of the boot, it just is something, again, very era correct from Japan. Gold badges on this one as well, we'll point them out, which is really cool. Bigger exhaust as well, and again, it's one of those sort of under the radar cars. If you didn't know what it was, you wouldn't know what it was, but those that know, they definitely know. Coming inside though, a few modifications include steering wheel. We've got a couple of bucket seats in here, stripped out on the rear end, factory door cards. It is a cool little Japanese hot hatch, this. Underneath the bonnet though, we do have the original 1.3 litre engine, but it's making 208 brake horsepower, 190 foot-pound 1 bar. Now that, considering that this is a very lightweight car, yeah, pretty insane to drive this. CT9 hybrid turbo with a Gen 1 Welper manifold, 430cc injectors. It's got an uprated fuel pump, Greddy ECU, and a boost controller, with some exhaust modifications, of course, to create that over 200 horsepower from this little 1.3 litre engine. But I won't bore you guys too long. We will get out and carry on enjoying this thing, because this, down roads like these, it is just one hell of a car. Let's get back in, shall we? Slow back down. Third gear. Absolutely flies, this bloody thing. It's a true testament to how good Japan had it back in the 90s. Making cars like this on a base Starlet, putting a crazy kit on it. I mean, 2 wings out the back was a hell of a thing. Imagine driving to your local Toyota dealership and one of these was sat in there with its wings and the bulge in the bonnet, its turbocharged engine. That must have been such a cool collection of a car. Because even now in 2023, I feel like there's just an aura about a cool little car like this from Japan. A lot of people don't really get it or have never even heard of them. But the Japanese guys out there, the people that like these cars, they know full well what this car is and what it's capable of. And me, after driving a few of them, absolutely love it, mate. Goes like a rocket, this one. And I feel like if you're in the market for buying one soon, you're going to buy, you know, going to buy a right one for the money, because you're going to want to buy a nice one for the money that you're going to be paying. But soon, and years on, it's going to be time to buy one now, because they're going to be sought after, like they already are, but they're going to be more sought after. And they're going to be worth the money, mate. They're going to be 20 grand in a minute. Think about that, a 20 grand Glanza. It's going to happen. It's coming. You watch this space. So if you want one, I suggest buy one now. They're just going to keep going up in price, because this isn't going to be remade like this. Yes, automakers will make new cars, and I get that. Toyota have just done the GR Yaris. This is where it's at though, mate, I tell ya. But with that, guys, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching today's video. If you do like Glanzas, give this video a like. If you want to see more Glanza videos, I will put the Glanza content that I've put up just at the end of this video. And remember, fydapparel.com, clock yourself some FYD merch to support the channel. And I'll see you on the next one.